Hey guys, welcome back. We got a new scam surrounding Logan Paul. I know it's not the first and probably won't be the last, but what's going on here today? We got a little kerfuffle going on with Heritage Auctions. We're going to go through the details of all the previous countless videos that I've made involving the fake case, involving the liquid marketplace, just so you guys get a good feel for it, because it's a lot of information. Can't blame you if you haven't watched every single one of those videos. I see all the time the absolute misinformation about what's going on is real. So let's get into this. First, we got Auburn, who points out some nice little sections of this New York Times article. What do we got here? This was posted by Larry. Thank you, Auburn35, for tagging me on this. If you're not following Auburn35, what are you even doing? So we got some legal action taking place about an item that wasn't paid for by Logan Paul. And we're going to read this little snippet here. Paul, though, also nearly lost $3.5 million on a trading card purchase in 2022. He purchased a sealed case of first edition Pokemon base set booster boxes. Those boxes actually contained G.I. Joe cards. So already we're starting off with misinformation, because it is my opinion and the opinion of the person who supposedly sold it to Logan that purchase never happened, and that was essentially a fake sale, and that it was going to go on the scam platform known as Liquid Marketplace, which was largely advertised and pushed out by Logan Paul. Oh my goodness. This video, all my videos are my opinion. Reminder, form your own conclusions, do your own research. Now we get a nice little quote here. It had been verified to be legit by a very reputable box verification company, Paul explained during the June panel. Before I wanted to spend $3 million on it, I wanted to see if it was real. If you want to see me almost lose $3 million, it's all online. Wait, you almost lost it? So did you pay the 3.5? Did you pay the money for it? Or was that a fake sale? The guy who owns the grading company had his wife there. She started sobbing when Paul opened the boxes, revealing G.I. Joe cards. So it's I'm not surprised. I'm sure he was very upset that it was going to be him thrown under the bus, in my opinion, because yes, it's going to look bad on him if he took according to them, a cash payment to authenticate this thing. I heard other stories about it being a motorcycle that might have been registered under his brother's name. We haven't confirmed that information. He hasn't made any statement on that information. So did you spend it? Are we backtracking here, or is this just like I got a refund, guys? All right, so we got the article here, The Athletic. There are many articles on this. We're not going to touch on the other many scams that Logan has been involved with in terms of the old crypto, the old NFT game, which all looks pretty damning and all looks like he's kind of just not going to take the blame for it. Whoever else is involved is at fault. It's not Logan's fault that everything he seems to touch is a scam. Now, if you want to see all of the first edition base case stuff, there is a giant playlist right here. You can watch those, but we're going to go through the details real quick here. Now, we have Logan's post here where he says, and I'm assuming this is a lie, just dropped $3.5 million on the sealed and authenticated box of first edition Pokemon cards. Open mouth emoji. Now, that would lead me to believe that you purchased them if you dropped $3.5 million. Maybe he's being choosy with his words there. Not to mention the video that says I lost $3.5 million on fake Pokemon cards. Now, the explanation that they gave was that there was a refund. That was the initial explanation there. Doesn't seem like that's what happened. Now, according to Shine, who has a criminal past involving drug trafficking, this was the individual who supposedly sold or was going to sell the case of fake Pokemon cards, of G.I. Joe cards, to Logan Paul. He also informed me that Logan, on a voice call, it's in the videos there, that Logan wanted to instead put it on Liquid Marketplace, both of these individuals were heavily involved with Liquid Marketplace to begin with. We have the original seller here of the fake case, and I believe to be the original person who put the fake case together, Justin Martin from Canada. Now, we had PSA Pikachu, who basically confirmed on his own that this wasn't real because the seller was not willing to let him show up and purchase it in person, open it to verify authenticity. And that would be the condition for the payment being made on this case. It was on eBay. People were skeptical. We went through all the details in the videos about how it was not a real case. Many flaws on it, including the barcode and everything else. He didn't do a great job. This is something that should have been picked up by the individuals involved. We had Jamil, aka Mealy Pops, who blocked me early on instead of wanting to get to the bottom of things. We had Jacob, who bribed me with, I think it was 500,000 USD to remove my videos about the fake case. And now he's going to get let off. We're going to blame Jacob. Shine claims that he's going to take legal action against Jacob, but that has not occurred at this point in time. Is it that maybe Jacob got paid early and he didn't return that money, where everyone else was kind of SOL? Then we have the Polka Jew, Michael. That's what his name that he goes by, that he proudly goes by. And this guy was at the time, I don't know if he still is, Logan Paul's Pokemon guy. So instead of this case going directly to Logan, in my opinion, they made up some bull about how it had to go to Shine first, and then, of course, Shine's going to sell it to Logan. Maybe it's an excuse to have a giant fake sale so that it can be put on a platform, sold in fractional shares, and then no one ever gets the chance to open it. Now, it is important to note that Logan and Shine, while they were talking to me, were both very upset with Mr. Michael here, saying that it was his fault. They were blaming him for it. But then you got Michael posting pictures, doing the old peace signs on the private jet, on the PJ, with Shine here, and then also posting at the nightclub afterwards. So it's weird. You say you're mad at him, and like, I can't believe he was taking pictures, but like, you're gonna do the peace sign with him. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. None of it does until you piece it all together. Here we have him. He got flown out on the PJ. He's going to bring his real first edition base box so they could compare it to the other ones there. It is my opinion that this box only got opened because enough people watched my videos and were able to tell, hey, this shit is fake. Or at least to some extent. There were still people that were like, no, Rattle, it's got to be real. I know the barcode is wrong. I know the stamp is wrong. I know it has red flags all over it. But it ended up being fake. And then we have Steve Hart here, the BBCE guy that put it with his baseball player wrap on it, which was questionable from the get-go, especially when you consider the fact that he wouldn't authenticate a single box of this, but would do the whole case for them in this instance. So they're excited here because I guess they're, in my opinion, pretending that it might be real. It's not. What's going on here? Why is everyone from Liquid Marketplace all over this stuff? Could it be that it was a scam from the get-go and they wanted to get it on that platform? So you got to hang around with the chummies when you're orchestrating a giant scam, right? That's my opinion. You guys form your own. All right, before we get into the Liquid Marketplace, a little rundown on that. Going to thank you guys for using the link tree. The best ways to support the channel here are the free ways. We got PSA Pikachu, Secure Card Shop, Card Market, Buyee, Catch 'em All Collectibles, Collector App, discount codes for stuff that you're purchasing, saves some money while supporting the channel, and affiliate links for the stuff that you're buying anyway. Click it before you shop. Thank you, everyone that takes a few seconds to do so. Thank you to Card Market for sponsoring. All right, Liquid Marketplace. It's got its own playlist. They kind of intertwine because it's, in my opinion, one and the same scam that's going on here. One item from the scam, the fake case that kind of fell through, got replaced by another scammy item. The whole platform was a scam. And yes, when I contacted Shine, when I contacted Logan about Liquid Marketplace being a scam, because I saw the clear signs, such as the tokens not actually being minted for the items on the platform, and then most of the tokens being owned by Shine and the other users on the platform who claim to have never touched the platform. So they got all this XP, they got all this stuff on the platform, but they never touched the platform. You get XP from doing actions on the platform that he never used. Not to mention the non existence of the tokens that were supposed to be created for these items, also a red flag, not to mention the Discord that was almost fully dead. So who got scammed here? The investors got scammed. The people that put money into this platform and couldn't get it out got scammed. And it's an even bigger scam now because not only did they steal all the money from this, like why, and that's the thing too, why wouldn't Shine and Logan, if I did them a favor and showed them that that case was fake, confirmed that it was fake so that they could do the right thing and make sure. Why is no one taking action against Justin? Where's the action taken against Jacob, who supposedly was in on the scam, at least in their words? So we have the Ontario Securities Commission taking action against Liquid Marketplace. We got decisions in brief. Hopefully they all get locked up because it was a scam. They had like accounts that they were moving money into. It was clearly a scam. I showed that it was a scam in several videos. And here's the replacement for the fake case that was supposed to be on the platform in order to scam, in my opinion. Here's the big ticket item, the Logan Paul Illustrator that was a 9 several times before it got a 10. Back in the day when it was probably around $7 to resubmit this thing over and over again. And no, there were no upcharges back then. PSA did not give a crap about Pokemon. They might claim to now that they can make a whole lot of money on it. But back then, single digit dollar resubmissions on this thing. Eventually it got a 10. Cool, right? So this was used on the platform. People bought into this item. Investors put money into this platform. And this thing here was supposed to be on the platform so that people could buy a piece of it. Where's that piece now? You're saying, Rattle, what's going on here? What is going on? So now we're getting stuff about how Logan Paul is looking to sell his $5.2 million Pikachu Illustrator card. Now, I don't believe the sale to begin with. It had like an IOU that people were posting about the... I don't believe it. If the price, the $3.5 million price was fake from the box that was supposed to be on the platform, why am I supposed to trust the $5.2 million from this? Is it because it's a Guinness World Record? Again, and everyone states it as like a $5.2 million purchase, but it was also a partial trade. So we don't know what kind of shenanigans can be going on there. Oh, again, just articles and articles about how he's looking to sell this card that rightfully shouldn't belong to him. Shouldn't that be used to pay back all the people that lost money on Liquid Marketplace? Not just go to him. The terms were very sketchy on that website. I made that very clear. Logan stopped replying to me when I was pushing about how Liquid Marketplace was a scam. He didn't want to hear about how the Ontario Securities Commission was taking action against Liquid Marketplace. And are the Liquid Marketplace guys, were they just like, come on in here, we're gonna do some scamming? That's probably, they at least discussed it together because they all had those accounts that they were shoveling money into. Now, let's get into, we got the Heritage Auctions dilemma. That is the most recent thing. I don't know exactly how this is going to go about or what it's going to do, but we got Logan Paul, who has a little bit of buyer's regret here on a very expensive piece. We got Heritage Auctions. It seems like they removed this post, which is interesting. We got an 8-foot by 8-foot piece of the Bulls court used at the United Center during Chicago's second three-peat. So Logan is all of a sudden worried about the authenticity of this, but you would think that you'd do that research before you'd start bidding millions of dollars on something, right? Maybe. I mean, Michael Jordan could probably confirm what's going on with this exactly, if he so chooses to do so. We got a Collect article. Logan Paul issued restraining order against Heritage over auction of a Bulls court, which is interesting. So basically, he wants to not pay right now, and it's just weird. Hopefully, there were no posts about like record sales and look how expensive this thing is, that sort of thing. Which wouldn't surprise me if there were. I really hate when auction platforms or accounts make posts and just assume that something sold for some ridiculous amount of money without it even being confirmed paid for. But here we go. We got the Paul Let's Go breakdown of the case. If you're not following Paul on the X, you probably should be. It says, and as this fun, the hobby morning continues, we have one more fun lawsuit to talk about. It's Logan Paul versus Heritage Auctions. Let's live read this bad boy. So we got the case information here. We're going to read through his summary of what's going on. I suggest you tune into what he's doing if you want to notice some of the higher end shenanigans that are going on, whether it's Pokemon, sports, whatever. So as the complaint begins, this case has to do with the Heritage allegedly threatening Logan Paul to pay over $500,000. How much is it? $500,000 for an item of disputed authenticity, and that item is a section of the Bulls court from 1994 to 2005 that he won at auction. So Logan Paul allegedly discovered serious issues with the accuracy of the item as described on Heritage Auction's website. After he won the auction, he asked Heritage to assist him with evaluating the authenticity of the item prior to paying the massive price tag. I don't think that's how it works. Is it? Can you do that? Probably not. He allegedly requested Heritage to hold the item for him while he conducted his investigation. So you're gonna investigate this, but you couldn't investigate the fake case? You couldn't investigate the liquid marketplace that I fed you all the information on and you should have known was a scam? However, Heritage allegedly failed to provide any of the requested docs, confirmed some of the glaring issues with the item's authenticity, and wouldn't give Paul more time. So they're basically saying, hey, if you don't pay for this thing, you're not getting it. Do you want it or do you not want it? Accordingly, Paul is seeking a TRO to maintain the status quo while the parties arbitrate this dispute according to Heritage's terms and conditions. In other words, to tell Heritage to hold its horses while we figure this shit out, paraphrasing slightly. In more detail, the item at issue is a massive 1994 to 98 United Center original game used court section signed by Michael Jordan, which allegedly is portions of the court the Bulls won 3 championships on, which Paul won the auction for $562,555.42. After winning the auction, Paul noticed the condition of the item indisputably does not match the court from 95 to 98. Some of the issues are the description says the court is from 94 to 98, but the cert of authenticity only says 95 to 98. Man, this signed like sports stuff is super dangerous. As we saw recently, someone decided to end their own existence and was in on a whole lot of fake autographs. We didn't see anything about him faking giant Michael Jordan autographs, but you never know. The photo match claims to match the court for the 2001-06 seasons, but there appears to be no photo matches for 1998 to 2001. The cert of authenticity says the item was certified to Upper Deck as being used during 95 to 98, but there's no copy of that certification given to Upper Deck. The NBA requires replacement/resurface repaint of courts every 10 years, and this one allegedly doesn't have signs of that. The item allegedly has a different Bulls logo paint than contained in a 2001 to 05 photos. And there's like 3 other reasons as well, but you get the points. So complaint continues with all these alleged issues. His attorneys contacted Heritage and said, we're currently looking into this, and if the court is good, Paul would be thrilled to move forward with the transaction, including making payment. Heritage's response was allegedly unsatisfactory to Paul, as Heritage allegedly refused to give Logan an opportunity to investigate these authenticity issues in advance of payment, apparently because the consignor is unhappy with the sale price. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone else has terms that they got to pay within a certain period of time. Now, if it is not authentic, that's a whole different story. And maybe that's a reason to take legal action. But, like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Apparently, the TRO hearing for this starts in, looks maybe 10 minutes. That's what Paul requested. But maybe the courts, will do this on 10/9. So, yeah, we may get an update on this today. Oh, my goodness. So, again, is this like... This is just the dumbest stuff, just the dumbest waste of money. And for what? Quick update in Logan Paul v. Heritage Auctions. Yesterday, the parties agreed to a temporary restraining order, meaning Heritage won't return or sell the item, the alleged Bulls game used court section signed by Michael Jordan, or cancel the sale to Paul. So, questionable item, and was it purchased on a whim? Probably not something that you should purchase on a whim, regardless of how many Boneronos you have. But we'll have to keep an eye on it. God knows. It seems like everything Logan touches is like scam related. And from what I've seen, his involvement usually exists in said ordeals. So we'll have to stay tuned and find out what comes of this. Did he actually get scammed this time? Take care, guys. See you next time. Bye.